What's up, weirdos? We've been blessed with yet another juicy Next Fest celebration, and, as always, I'm here to give you the rundown on some awesome and weird indie games you may have missed in the sea of demos. Be ready for plenty of horror, action, and, whatever the hell this is. It's time for Demo Dive. I Nima is a psychological horror game that takes the premise of choice-based narratives to a whole new level of terror. With a fragmented memory and no idea what got you into this situation, you find yourself tied to a chair in your mother's basement. By combining words in your head to form new concepts and memories, your goal is to convince your mother that you're her child. With both characters acting equally suspicious, tensions at the breaking point, and secrets permeating the air around you, can you trust your mother, and can you even trust yourself? The story of I Nima is presented in a way that no other game I've played has approached this narrative. With the mother presented as an unreliable source of information and no previous knowledge to go off of, Nima's past is explored by the player through combining ideas together in her brain. Not only does this give you new words to use, it also provides clues to Nima's past as you piece together her associations between memories. With only a limited amount of questions you can ask each day, alongside cryptic tests of your memory, you have to convince your mother that you are Nima, or suffer the consequences. Oh god. Ah! As a bonus to this insanely engaging method of storytelling, the art direction of I Nima hits just right, complementing the tense atmosphere through colorful but unsettling imagery. From the psychedelic dream sequences to Nima's cold stare in the corner of the screen, this demo keeps you on edge at every moment. There's no release date for the full game yet, but make sure you add it to your wishlist and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date on all of this and plenty of other weird and spooky games. Labyrinth of the Demon King feels like a hybrid of the FromSoft formula and chivalry gameplay crammed into a tight and oppressive horror experience. This retro horror title, which eagerly embraces the visual style of old analog films, puts the player into the shoes of a lone soldier seeking revenge against the Demon King. With all of the odds stacked against you and demons lurking around every corner, the only thing more bleak than this game's atmosphere is your chance of survival. I fell in love with Labyrinth of the Demon King's visuals from the moment its first trailer came out, and I'm happy to say that it's even more horrifying in its real gameplay. Everything about this game is unsettling, and it does everything it can to make you feel unsafe at all times. With the complexity of the combat, which is an advanced game of rock, paper, scissors between light attacks, heavy attacks, blocking, parrying, kicking, and dodging, that lack of safety is reinforced as every enemy you fight has the potential and unrelenting desire to kill you on the spot. What Labyrinth brings to the table in terms of difficulty, it deals equally in forgiveness. When you die, you're brought back to the last save point you visited with all of the enemies in the world respawned, similar to a Souls-like experience. In the same vein, everything you picked up or interacted with before dying is continuous after death, meaning you don't have to backtrack for important items if you carelessly jumped into a pit. So let's jump down there real quick.
Yee fucking haw. Oh, I jumped too far! No!
Or had your ankles removed by a tiny menace.
Ha. Ow. Oh my god.
The vibes of this title scream horror and dread with every piece of its design, but with a story and world that makes you want to dive even deeper into its darkness. Labyrinth of the Demon King doesn't have a release date yet, but be sure to hit that wishlist button if you want more brutal battles and spooky cats in your life. Muffles' Life Sentence is a card-based RPG inside of a world that's just as weird as it is sinister. With no memories of who you are or why you're locked up, you awaken inside of a prison where the inmates are disfigured to match their crimes. In your unlucky case, the price of your crime was the removal of your mouth, earning you the loving title of Muffles. Who are you, and what did you do to deserve this punishment? Try to find these answers and your freedom through making friends, smashing the faces of enemies, jamming out to a fantastic soundtrack, and some good old-fashioned reconstructive surgery. Muffles is a quirky and darkly comedic experience that's part RPG, in a similar fashion to games like Earthbound and Undertale, and part card game, which tasks the player with customizing decks and strategically playing cards in turn-based battles. The writing in this game is definitely worth the experience alone, with a wide cast of wacky and distinctly horrifying characters that will want to help or hinder your quest. On top of that, the card game aspect is a unique twist on card battling systems that stands out from the crowd, forcing you to really think and strategize to make it out of those tougher fights alive. I also can't forget to mention how well this game utilizes its retro visual style and limited color palette to really push the unsettling character designs. The real kicker on this one, you can play the entire first chapter for free right now, and the second chapter just released a week ago. This is much more than a demo, and I'm very excited to see where the story leads in the future. As a quick note at the end of this, for the sake of transparency, I was a tester for the first chapter of this game a while back. However, I'm talking with 100% honesty in my recommendation for this wonderfully weird game. I just like to make sure I'm transparent with everything I make. Where do I even start with Moroi? This game, while looking moderately normal from screenshots and snippets of gameplay, is far from any semblance of that word. This top-down action title throws the player into a grotesque fairy tale world of nonsensical horror where anything, and I mean anything, can happen. With no memory of who you are and everyone wanting you dead, you have to get your bearings straight within a ruthless purgatory that will fuel your worst fever dreams. This heavy metal hellscape of a game set off my weirdness sensors within seconds after starting, and continued to batter my brain with unexpected events over and over again as I made my way through the demo and its surprising twists and turns. Moroi is, above all else, certainly an experience. The puzzles are creative, the visual design is violently disturbing, the characters are full of personality, and the soundtrack is definitely one hell of a jam. Keeping in line with just how mysterious this demo was, Moroi's release date is still unannounced, but you'll definitely want to slam this one into your wishlist. Stepping away from the normal weird and spooky vibes of this channel for a moment, I need to talk about Nitro Gen Omega. This strategy mech fighter is, above all else, flashy as hell, boasting impressive 3D anime visuals while making the player actively feel like they're interacting with a show. With the surface of the planet completely taken over by hostile robots, humanity has taken to the skies to survive. With a rookie crew and a scrappy mech for them to pilot together, you'll split your crew's time between intense mech battles and some much-needed downtime. Be careful, however, because you'll need to manage your crew's relationships with each other, their mental health, and their very lives as they fight for resources and survive in this post-apocalyptic world. The main reason I had to talk about this game is the insanely hyped-up visual style, especially during combat.
It's dashing at me, but we're ready. Oh, she's locked in. Whoa!
The player and your enemies are each taking turns planning out actions within a set of time slots, with the goal of outplaying each other's decisions. Once all of the turns are planned out, you get to the star of the show, the execution phase. Here, you get to see all of your decisions for the turn played out like you're watching an anime, with each character performing their actions in beautifully over-exaggerated cutscenes. While the sound design needs work in some places, I absolutely loved the cinematic approach Nitro Gen Omega takes with every aspect of its design. Every interaction in the game feels personal, furthering a bond between the player and their crew that makes difficult situations all the more intense, especially with its permadeath system. The release date on this one is slated for 2025, so add it to your wishlist and keep an eye out.
あたいに言わせりゃ予算削減するんなら町役場のやつから首切れってな。
Promise Mascot Agency's premise sounds pretty normal on the surface. Build up and manage a mascot agency in a small community in Japan. However, what if I told you the mascots are actually a species of conveniently shaped creatures with human-level intelligence? On top of that, how do you feel about a town stuffed to the brim with a chaotic cast of wacky characters? Oh, and just for good measure, the town is also insanely cursed. Play as ex-Yakuza Michi alongside his new companion, a giant talking pinky finger, as you work to manage and improve your new mascot agency within the cursed town of Kasumachi. As a manager, your job is to hire a variety of strange mascots and send them out on odd jobs around town, while maintaining their energy levels and improving their stats. Additionally, explore the strange town around you to meet all kinds of characters that will give you quests, new job opportunities, upgrades for your truck, and heroes that you can call on if mascots get themselves into a bind on the job. While the demo is very text-heavy at first, since it takes place near the beginning of the game, you can definitely see the promise of the gameplay once it hands you the reins of the agency. However, I had zero problem with all of that dialogue because the characters were so entertaining and the writing had me cracking up in every conversation.
I apologize for what happened at your granddaughter's party. I shouldn't have said what I said or put the knife where I put it.
Promise Mascot Agency is weird, for sure, and it seems to invoke the same comedy stylings as the Yakuza franchise's notorious side quests. For those of you that really want to get your hands on this bundle of weirdness, you're in luck, because the full game releases on April 10th. Add Promise Mascot Agency to your wishlist and get ready to form a contract with a giant crying block of tofu next month. Thank you so much for watching. I'm thinking of making a part 2 since it was so difficult to pick games for this episode, so please shout your suggestions for demos to try in the comments. Remember, if you want more weird, spooky, and obscure indie games in your life, hit that subscribe button to fill the moose-shaped void in your heart. Remember that I stream every Saturday at 4 PM Mountain Time on YouTube and Twitch, plus you can check out all of the weird shenanigans our community is up to over on Discord. Links for that and everything else I do are down in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.